Hello, it's Clive Manley at Maximum Fitness, and today we're going to talk to you about leg training. We can't touch on everything, but we're going to try to touch on all the basics. So I hope it's going to be useful for you, and we'll start off with the squats. What we want to do first of all is to work out the range of motion that an individual has before loading up the legs. We're just going to bring Natalia into shot. And what we're going to see first of all is what sort of elevation we need on an individual's heels to get good range of motion. So we're going to squat down, up again. Natalia's getting good range of motion. We don't need to elevate the heels, but if we're unable to get that depth of motion, we're going to need to elevate the heels with a small block. Just going underneath the heels and go again. So we're getting a nice, good, deep range of motion. And we're trying to get the thighs at least parallel with the floor. So now, after assessing range of motion, we're now going to assess loading. Bar behind your head. Okay, we're going to squat down and up again. Right. Now what we want to try and do is assess loading. So we're going to put the bar back on the rack. Okay, now we're going to squat again. Now we're going to need weights a little bit heavier. We're going to really need to concentrate on deep breath in. Deep breath in. So that's the basic back squat. What we're going to try and do is to go on to loading the quads up with less support from the lower back, and we're going to try to do on the front squat. We're going to use fingers and thumbs, push the bar back in, hold it into the neck, keeping both high. Now we're going to do a set with Natalia, and then we're going to squat with perfect movement. If you want to get a good shape to your leg, particularly on the front of the leg, this is the exercise to do. For this exercise, we've got to use a fairly thick block. We're now going to take the bar from behind, down to the Achilles, and up. Down to the Achilles, and up. So, onto the machine. Come up, we're going to lift the toes upwards, so we don't want to push the toes away from us. So up, lock the legs, down again. Lock, down. Squats are the king of the leg movements, but leg press does come in a close second. You want to get the feet level with the hips, shoulder width apart, toes and heels in line, and from there we're going to go down as deep as we can with the heels flat. So we keep that nice direct contact in with the weight. Down, breathe in, out, in, out. Lunge is a great exercise for the quads, but also for hamstrings and particularly the glutes. It's really essential to make sure that when you lunge, you keep your knee over your heel, so the loading goes through that as a right angle. What we don't want is the knee to go forward. So nice big slide, down, back. Slow, slow, touch the knee, back. So what we're going to try and do is, first of all, get in a good position. No weight loading first of all until we find out how much weight we want to use. We want the toes to be pulled up towards the knees. Exhale as the weight comes up. Exhale, inhale. So we're going to start with stiff leg deadlift. So the bar needs to come in right into your insteps. Okay. Then we're going to take a grip, which is exactly shoulder width apart. Secondly, we want to have a supinated grip, which is one hand around one way, one hand around the other. It helps to stop the bar just from rolling out of your grip. Lean right over, down to the floor and back up again. So Natalia's got a great range of motion, so on that basis I think what we need to do is try and extend it a little bit further. We're going to use a block. There we go. And back up. Now we're going to do a similar type of range of motion, but the loading is a little bit different because we're going to put the bar behind the head rather than lifting from here, and that's a good morning. We're going to start with a very light weight, looking at range of motion again. So we want to go down as deep as we can with a nice lordosis. Keep going down, Natalia, down until we see that lordosis just disappear. Now come back up again. At the top of the range of motion, just tilt the pelvic forward. So now we've checked range of motion, we know that that's good. We're going to try with a slightly heavier weight. Okay, so same thing again, and down we go. That's your good mornings. Into the lower sections of the leg, namely the calves, right? Okay, so starting off with standing calf raises, what we've got to try to do is make sure that the heels don't cave in. So we're going to try and keep parallel with the toes. Stretch down as far as you can and up. And what we're looking at is getting up onto the ball of the foot, right up onto the ball of the foot. So we don't want to come out to the side of the foot, but up right onto your big toe. Stretch down, big toe. So first of all, same with everything else, we're going to get good range of motion, keeping the heels and the toes in parallel, not allowing the heels to swap in. Right. And then we can decide to use a weight loading, so coming down to sort of somewhere between 10 and 20 reps. So we're now on to the second of the calf movement, which is seated calf raise. So as I say, that's working mostly the lower sections down. So exactly the same as on the standing, we're going to try and get the feet parallel with the hips, with the knees. So that nice straight line, and up, tiptoe, and there again onto your big toe. So down, stretch, onto your big toe. And like all these exercises, establish range of motion first with a light weight. Now, how are you going to put it all together? Now, you don't need to do all of them. 2 or 3 sets of leg exercises is quite sufficient when you first start training. Intermediate level, then you can start adding to leg extensions, leg curl, to squats, and at an advanced level, then you're starting to add lots of other movements as well, including stiff leg deadlift, using some supersets, bringing leg extension in. But when you're first starting, squats are the king. So 2 or 3 sets of somewhere between 8 to 15 reps. Of course, we can't cover every single leg exercise in the short time we've had together, but I hope that you found what we've done useful to you, and just a few basic pointers on your leg training. So if you need some more help and advice, come down to Maximum Fitness, we're there, we can help you. So enjoy your leg training. It's goodbye from me, Clive.
Goodbye from me, from Natalia, and до свидания.
Bye bye.